Okay guys, here's the basic setup for station number 1 of Light Lab 14 through 17. In this one you can just see, as per the directions, it wants you to change what we call the angle of incidence and figure out the angle of reflection. So you're going to use our ray box, and you're also going to use a protractor and a mirror on a stand. And I want you to take notice of where the mirror is sitting on the protractor. Okay, it goes right along that 0 degree line. Okay. Now we talked about the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. The angle of incidence is the one that comes from the ray box and strikes the mirror. So currently, I'm going to back this up just a little bit. Currently we have an angle of incidence of 30 degrees. Now that's the first one that you're going to need to examine. What you need to do then is, since we see the angle of incidence, you need to determine the angle of reflection. So the angle of reflection, here's the angle of incidence, comes in. Angle of reflection is this beam that goes out. And what we do is we always look at this as an angle of the beam compared to the mirror. Okay, so beam compared to the mirror here. So this angle between the mirror and the beam is 30 degrees. So what is the angle between the beam and the mirror over here? And the answer is 30, right there. Okay, so you need to do that for 40 degrees, 50 degrees, and 60 degrees. Okay guys, at station number 2, you're going to be looking at concave and convex mirrors. Now the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to examine what the image of the mirror looks like when you bend it towards yourself and away from yourself. Okay? So you want to look at yourself in the mirror and kind of take some observations about what is happening when you bend the mirror towards versus away from yourself. So what we're doing here is we're making convex and concave mirrors. Okay. Now the second step of this is to actually use this mirror setup in regards to the light. Okay. So again, the next step is to take a look at what happens to the light when you form a concave mirror, when you bend the mirror towards the light, and what happens when you bend it away from the light or form some sort of convex mirror. All right, guys. Station number 3 is a few steps here. The very first step that you need to do is you need to take a rectangular prism, okay, and the directions clearly state that you need to hold the prism in front of your eyes and put your finger behind it. Now once you have this, you're going to twist and turn the prism and record your observations about what you see happening with your finger. Okay. Now the next step is to take that same prism and you're actually going to set it down in front of the ray box, just like we did right there. Now I'm going to show you from above the way that this should look. Okay. So if you have the prism, you should see it as the light goes straight through the prism, and then you're going to simply twist and turn the prism and again kind of record your observations. Now the last step of this belongs over here, okay, and this is with the flashlight and the beaker. This one you're going to be shining the flashlight. Hold on, that flashlight was broken. You're going to be shining the flashlight through the beaker and recording your observations about what you see on the other side of the beaker on the screen. Alright guys, the last station, station number 4, involves using graph paper and a silver glass. So this is all about mirror images. And in this first part of station number 4, it's very easy to just write your name with the half silver glass. So we see our half silver glass, there is a darker side and there is a more reflective side. You need the darker side facing you, and all you're going to do here is write your name, one letter per box, in front of the half silver glass. And once you have that, you are going to use, and it's a little hard to see in the camera, but there is actually the reflection of my name on the other side of the paper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trace what I see as the reflection on the other side of the paper. And then I'm going to compare what we have right now to what it shows up as. Okay, you have that, and then in addition to that, there are some other mirror image activities. Okay, on this one, you need to make sure that, what does the face look like in the mirror? Pay close attention to the direction of the nose. Pay close attention to what side of the face you put the heart. Okay, remember this is a mirror image. Again, here's another one. We've got the circle, and we need to figure out what it's going to look like in the mirror. the arrow, what direction is it going to appear in the mirror, and all these different symbols, what are they going to look like as a mirror image up here.